Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Alok Agrawal and today I'm joined by Director BULMIM Dr. N. Durga Mohan. Today we have also blessed to have team of WellM with us who have a motto, a mission to help people lead a healthy and willful life. So I welcome Mr. Rakesh Sarin Ji and Mrs. Shivi Sabharwal. Thank you for joining us today, ma'am, sir. Thank you so much. So I'll begin with this conversation, this talk, with a very simple question, which is very important as well. That anxiety. This word is always termed as a very negative term. Whenever we talk about anxiety, people see is it a very negative term. So what do you see? How do you feel? What anxiety is for you? Because you are in this industry for long, you're in this industry. So how do you see anxiety? What is your perspective on it?
So, Dr. Alok, I fully agree with you that anxiety is negative, but at the same time, I also disagree. So, let me first talk about the agreement part, that why anxiety is termed negative, and it is. You see, anxiety has a negative power of destroying somebody's life, somebody's career, somebody's health. And what we have understood at WellM, that uh, anxiety is a root cause of all the non-communicable diseases, or I may say chronic diseases, or I may say psychometabolic disorders like sleep disorder, like diabetes, like blood pressure, like heart issues, PCODs, and various issues, which we see which impinge with our wellness. Now, if someone is not well, so healthy body is important and it creates a lot of retardants in our life. At the same time, the negative anxiety can be a great retardant in somebody's career, somebody's professional life. Cooking good food, for example, of course, looking at the senior citizens as well, anxiety can be real happiness destroyer. Now, let me say on the other side, other aspect of anxiety, anxiety is not bad as well, because anxiety, when it is a productive anxiety, where we, instead of getting used by anxiety, if we use the anxiety, then it can do wonders. So we need to understand how to manage anxiety and use anxiety to our advantage. At WellM, what we have done is that we have created some very interesting aspects and bringing some very interesting insights on how to manage anxiety. Because, here at this BULMIM with Dr. Durga Mohan, sitting here, I interacted with a lot of students. Now, students have to go through anxiety. But if anxiety is not handled properly, it can destroy the academics. It can impact their interviews, internships, getting into the profession, and it doesn't stop there. From profession, when we move up in the ladder, and many of you would relate with that anxieties keep going up and down with every quarter. So anxiety is something which cannot be avoided. But what can be done is that how do I handle that anxiety, like a rubber band, to stretch it and understand that what is the optimum level where it is working for me, and then ensure that it doesn't go beyond the breaking point. And at WellM, we have some very interesting insights and solutions related to that.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really insightful. I would like to come to Shivi ma'am now. Ma'am, how is WellM now tackling it? Anxiety, mental hygiene, all these issues are long lasting and we've been talking about from decades. And it's a taboo in India, to be honest. When you talk about anxiety, mental health, mental fitness, all these things, people are like taking it as taboo. So, how is WellM, the technology company, helping people to be better, be a more fit, more healthy in terms of mental health?
Right. So, firstly, let me tell you a bit about WellM. So, WellM and all of us who work here are extremely passionate about helping people lead a healthier and happier life through understanding the power of holistic well being. Now, holistic well being is a very broadly used term. But I would like to say that our main focus is more on emotional health, because if a person is feeling happy emotionally, then everything in life goes right, right? So, firstly, how do we do it? We help people in understanding what is the root cause of any given problem. And we truly believe that our mind and our bodies are interconnected. So, if you have a problem, a challenge in one of the areas, it definitely will have repercussions in the other. So, as an organization, as a starting point, we help people in understanding where is the problem through the help of assessments. So, we've built a very robust platform wherein we do certain assessments for emotional and physical well being. There is self care assessment in understanding how a person's lead their lifestyle. There is joy care assessment wherein you, through the help of psychometric assessments, you're able to understand how is a person feeling emotionally. There is fit care wherein you understand your fitness level, and there are the other two as well. So firstly, we start with assessment. Once we know where people stand in terms of their emotional and physical health, then we have a team of expert coaches, well-being experts, who help you in co-creating your journey to well-being, through diet charts, fitness charts, emotional well-being practices. And that's how we basically handhold every individual in leading a better life. Also, I would say, in terms of technology, we understand now life is nothing without your mobile phones, right? Indeed. So even when it comes to health and fitness, you're keeping your records there, you're keeping your tab there. So what we've done is we've also created a very interesting app. It's called WellM app, wherein an individual can go, they can track their emotions firstly. How you're feeling today, sad, excited, happy. And then based on that, there are some certain questions which will help you track your emotions. Basis this, we also have a self-care library. So if suppose, for example, Shivi's journeys for today is that I'm feeling anxious. The next question probe would be, what is making you feel anxious? So if I say, for example, work is making me feel anxious, then as a third window, for WellM, it's important for us to help you come out of that situation. So then we intelligently show you articles and blogs and videos that will help you overcome anxiety which is caused by work. So firstly this, and also I think it lets you help you track what are your trigger points. Like for instance, I would say, I'm a mom of two, and for the longest point, I thought that my kids are making me anxious, right? Because you have to wake up in the morning at a certain time, you have to leave them at the bus stop, then you got to manage their time in terms of their studies, sports, everything. And then, I started tracking that, is it kids or is it me? Where is the problem? Exactly. And when I tracked it through the app, in order to understand that what is causing me anxiety, I realized that it is actually my self-discipline, right? And in WellM, let me also tell you that we follow a philosophy of natural laws of wellness, which means that nature has the power to cure almost everything that you have. Now, there are these 9 laws of wellness, and in fact, these 9 things which are abundantly available, such as sunshine, air, water, trust, exercise, self-discipline is one of it, trust, nutrition. And when we give advisory to people, we keep in mind these natural laws of wellness, right? Because we are a chemical-free company. We want to tell people how to lead a healthier and a happier life by imbibing these strong, natural, very potent laws into your daily lifestyle. So when I did my assessment, I realized that out of these 9 natural laws, self-discipline was the one which was actually causing all the problem. And then I worked on my self-discipline. I do not, and I'm sorry, I take my words back that my kids cause anxiety to me. It was my self-discipline which was causing anxiety, and I could track it because of this app. And now I'm a much better person. I think I enjoy a better relationship with my kids as well, because I understand my gap areas. So that is one aspect wherein it's important for you to understand what are your triggers, and the app helps you do that. The app also helps you track your fitness. Like we said, mind and body are interconnected. Yes. So hence, if a person who's emotionally, going through some challenges, you'll see that the person will also feel lethargic. Exactly. The moving out of your home or bed is a struggle. So the app helps you understand that. And thirdly, if I take it as a scenario with students, for instance, because we're sitting with BULMIM, so the app also has a very interesting feature, which is community. Now, when it comes to mental well-being, what we've realized, and research also says, that people who are going through anxiety, who are going through stress, they find it very difficult to express themselves, emotionally, whether it's to your peers or friends or anyone. right? So this app gives you the power to anonymously express yourself onto a community, right? So if I'm feeling anxious, or if I'm feeling something which might be silly, I have to get it out, because most of the time it's said that if you're feeling an emotion, if you're feeling stress, anxiety, when you get it out of your system, 50% of it is sort of, yes. So it helps you, it gives you that safe space where anonymously you can share your feelings. And also, because it's a large community of students, you will always hear back from people who probably are going through the same struggles of life. And when you sort of get like a thumbs up or a comment from them that yes, I feel you, I'm going through the same thing, it kind of just gives you motivation that I'm not alone in this journey. People are going through the same thing, and how can I make myself better? So the self-care library gives you those tips, how nature can help you feel better. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, how just walking out in the sun for 15 minutes can do the magic. So it gives you those triggers. Community helps you in being a part of the larger space. And of course, the self-care library is there to help you whenever you need help, whether it's 3 a.m. in the morning or 12. Apart from this, we also have our expert psychologist. So we've got a team of naturopaths, we've got a team of psychologists, well-being experts who are always there, very carefully listening to all the chatter that's happening on the community and replying back in a positive, psychology manner. Plus, of course, if any student wants to reach out for a one-on-one counseling session, that is also an option available through the app. So I hope I'm able to sum it up.
You did very well. But taking this question further, sir, mental health is not only limited to college-going kids or school-going kids or for teenagers or maybe middle-aged people. I feel that mental health is even bigger issue for senior citizens. And this topic has been touched widely by even our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. So, what do you see? What is your perspective on this, sir? Because I personally feel that elderly senior citizens, they need lot of mental health. They have rather a lot of mental issues, and they need support because, as ma'am just suggested, that venting out is a big help. But after a level, when you reach an age, it's very difficult for you to even vent out to people. Your kids have moved out, they've gone abroad, or they're staying somewhere else and they're studying somewhere else. So, what is your perspective on this, mental health and elderly people or senior citizens?
So you have touched a very important point, Dr. Alok. It's so true. When we talk of the senior citizens, one of the biggest gap which come in the life, having passed through a very, very busy schedules and, active work life, is loneliness. Other important aspect is of significance, because we all are used to that, and then you change your circle altogether. From an organization you shift to on your own. The kids, you may have a big house, but the kids have moved out, and it pains. It does. And I think that stage we really need a companion. While companion is there in physical sense, husband wife live together in most of the situation, but their situation also comes when a person is living singularly. So what do we do? So in WellM, we have created a friend. So in WellM community, we have cohorts. So when you join in WellM, you can land into a cohort of students. You can land into the cohort of, say, professionals or parents or senior citizen. Now, there, you have your friends who are like-minded, who pick up a communication, who can give their comments with their name or in anonymous name, without having the fear of getting judged. And most importantly, they're also expert coaches who specialize on geriatrics, for example. And therefore, whenever there is a need, someone is there just next door. You have to simply click certain buttons and you can talk for 50 minutes, 1 hour, and put your issues on the table, and then get some very good expert advice, which essentially heals you from mind and body and gives a great degree of comfort. But I think with Dr. Durga Mohan here, who's such an experienced business and now educator, and I would request if you may like to give your perspective on this very, very important subject.
What the way I was, listening to both of you, what I thought is that, we had this black swan event of COVID, for the last 2 years. And thanks to whatever reasons, it is on the wane, especially in India. The impact is not so much, third wave, fourth wave. Now, if this kind of an event occurs, which is unknown, you can never plan for it, and that's why it's called a black swan event. Anxiety levels do go up, because as you said, the senior citizens, the routine is broken. They have a kind of a status, in their professional life that no longer exists. The same thing happened to very many people. Yeah. So if you can just tell us that, yes, your app and you are working on these, factors that lead to well-being of the human being, how one can cope up with this kind of events. It may not be COVID if somebody has lost a job suddenly, and then he or she thinks that this is end of the road, what shall I do? And they're very anxious. So how your app and your organization help them? That's my question to you.
Sure. So our app, in a way, is a venting mechanism where whatever is going on in somebody's life, one is free to vent off, and since there is anonymity, there is no fear of getting judged. Now, what we are doing is that we are studying the chatter, and we are putting the NLP process, machine learning process, to understand what are the current issues which are being plagued, in the community, and through the app, we have, like Shivi mentioned, lot of good content which helps people in coping with those issues, and they all come from the mother nature. A very simple thing like circadian rhythm, which is governed through the sunshine. Many a times people get big relief once they put a self-discipline on getting up, getting out in the green area, and then be under the sunshine. So we also do webinars on a monthly basis on the subject which is most relevant to the society, to the community. Let's say if we see that a lot of issues are coming from the relationship side, then we do a program through expert psychologists on the relationship aspects. So in a way, it's a two-way process. We learn from the community, and we try to give something of meaning to those people back, and that's the intent we want to progress.
Great.
In addition, sorry,
if I can put it, you help people to solve their own issues.
yes,
Yeah.
and what we also do is that we are fact-based company, so we do certain very innovative assessments, and through the assessment, which happens again from the app only, we give very targeted advice in that case. And then, of course, our well-being coaches are available. And here, while we are going by a path that anxiety leads to various issues which impinge with our well-being, but the object in our focus is not just anxiety, but via that route tackle the overall well-being of the people and engage with them and create joy in the community.
Great. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was great interacting with both of you, and thank you for this amazing question, sir. An academic perspective always helps the corporate world to grow in a better and a more inclined way. So thank you so much, sir. And that was a great interaction that we had on anxiety, mental health, and how technology and platforms like WellM are helping people to lead a better and more wellful life, a more healthy life in terms of mental health as well as physical health. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Alok. Thank you, Dr. Durga Mohan, for hosting us in this beautiful campus of BULMIM. And we are so delighted and happy to be here.
Thank
Thank you for
And
hosting us.
Thank you. Bye.